Hey everyone, today we're going to show you how we make mead. Basically a traditional old style drink that consists of fermented honey, and we add some fruit to it. We make different varieties, so we're just going to show you how we make one of our basic berry meads. So first off, we start with a sanitized 1 gallon glass container. You want to make sure you have a lid with an airlock. You don't want any foreign bacteria or anything to get in there. So we're going to start by putting in 3 pounds of honey. And yes, you're making alcohol, so you have to have a drink while you're doing it. So what we have is a 2 pound container and a 1 pound container of honey to make our 3 pounds. And I found that using a canning funnel really helps with the process. Now we are going to add, let me grab a chunk of paper towel here and wipe a little honey off the side of the jar. What we're going to do now is we're going to fill it with just straight cold water up to the shoulder of the jar. I'll be right back. Alright, now we have our water added. We're going to go ahead. We use a blending stick on the end of a drill. And sorry, I do like my Milwaukee tools. And we're just going to use that to blend it up. Alright, now that we have that blended, we're going to go ahead and add some of this fruit medley, or berry medley. The fun thing about mead is you can experiment. You know, we have done some with some maple syrup added. We have done some with straight raspberries from that Miss grew in the garden. So what we're going to do is we're just going to add some fruit. Right to it. It doesn't take a terrible amount. It's surprising how much the flavor will come out of the fruit. I'm going to wash my hand quick. And you can get creative, like if you have a really high sugar content fruit, you can put in more fruit and take out a pound of honey. It's just something you can play around with. But what we're going to do now is we're going to add the yeast. We use a Lavin D47. It's a wine yeast that stalls at 18% alcohol. So any sugar that's left over, once it hits 18%, just adds sweetness to it. What I do is just give it a little twist, get the yeast in there a little bit, and it will sink. Once we're done with that, we cap it and we install an airlock. So the carbon dioxide that's released from the fermenting process can get out, but nothing can get in. So now this will sit for about 2 weeks, and then what we'll do is basically what's called racking. We'll transfer it to another container. There's going to be yeast sediment on the bottom of this jar, and what we want to do is get the fluid off that yeast base, and we want to get the fruit out of it in about 2 weeks, and then that'll sit in the secondary fermenting jar for another 2 weeks before we bottle it. But there you go, guys. It's a pretty simple process. It takes a while, and usually after we bottle it, we like to let it sit for at least a month to 2 months before we try it. But anyways, any questions, just let me know. Thanks.